Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you are doing well. And today is election day in the United States of America. It is some crazy time. Polls are going to be closing within the hour or so, and it's absolutely insane. But that doesn't mean that we can't talk about Star Wars news today, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. So first, let's talk about our boy, Scotty boy, over at Forbes.com, Scott Mendelson, who says, Solo failure and Last Jedi backlash will not hurt Star Wars Episode 9. I'm pretty sure that trends are important, especially when you look to the box office. If something is trending upward, it's important. It tells you, it's indicative of where a franchise is going to go. If it's trending downward, it's indicative of where that franchise is going. We've seen this happen, you know, in both directions. So already I can say, Scott, I don't think you understand how trends work. If you look at, there's a beautiful graph. There's a beautiful graph. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. That Ethan Van Sciver put out. And it has the box office totals for all the Star Wars films ever since Disney took over. And it shows you $2 billion, $1 billion, $1.3 billion, less than $400 million. So it's on the trend down. There's no denial about that. So no, you might say that, oh, the Solo failure won't affect it. And I think that you might have a point to that extent, because especially when you look to the rankings and the ratings of Solo, Solo was not nearly as hated as much as The Last Jedi was. So I think if people ended up seeing Solo after the fact, or even were the few people that actually did see Solo in theaters, I think that you could say, okay, well, they probably won't not see Episode 9 for that reason, for Solo coming out. But for you to try and act like The Last Jedi backlash has no impact, will not hurt Star Wars Episode 9, keep in mind, like, when you say that in a title, what you are insinuating is that the backlash, the fandom menace, every person that is just so ticked off about what Rian Johnson did, not only to Luke Skywalker, but to the entire Star Wars universe, that somehow that's going to have no effect on it whatsoever, that is just downright silly. The words course correction can be several different things. Variety used that loaded phrase in an article by J.J. Abrams seeking a multimedia mega deal in Star Wars Episode 9. It could just be about Episode 9 making 3 or 4 times the money that Solo, a Star Wars story, earned in global box office, and thus just reassuring the Star Wars brand as a top-tier franchise. It could be, heaven forbid, Abrams and company looking at the online reaction to The Last Jedi, at least some of it, from Russian troll bots or otherwise not in good faith. Oh, there it is, Red Sky. Oh, there it is. Can't go one day without them talking about the Russians. God. And making sure that Episode 9 is more conventionally for the fans installment, or it could just be an offhand phrase uttered during a long conversation. And to me, this shows you, if you don't believe in media bias, if you don't believe in media spin, this paragraph is a perfect example of media spin. We hear the words course correction, and we know, anyone with a brain knows, oh, it's because Star Wars is off course, is not doing nearly as well as it should be doing, and it needs to be corrected. Question needs to be asked, okay, well, what put it off course? It's easy to look back at the numbers, ratings, reactions. Oh, The Last Jedi. That's where he went off course. You want to know why? Because in the wake of The Last Jedi, we had a Star Wars film for the first time ever since 1977 lose money. Those are the facts. That's just looking at things in reality, looking at point A to point D. That is reality, Scott. That is how you look at things. But instead, just like any other journalist these days, so-called journalists these days, people in the media, they love to take a fact and then spin it on its head, saying, well, that's a loaded phrase. I mean, course correction, that could have been taken way out of context, and so, I'm a Hollywood elite. I can do and say whatever I want, and you'll just have to believe me, because I sit on my ivory tower of knowledge and skill. Like these people are so full of themselves, their heads are so far up their asses that they can't see the light of day or the truth that's just right in front of them. So I think I can leave that there. So Scott, you know, I've given you a lot of screen time before, but let's just, that paragraph right there. Course correction can mean different things, but don't worry. Solo, you know, episode 8, Last Jedi, have no impact. Are gonna have no impact on the box office. And on the other side, whoo, just as Forbes comes up, oh, Rian Johnson. No, I don't want any notifications from you. We got this covered. Rian Johnson defends Luke's character in Star Wars. The Last Jedi says it's consistent with the original trilogy. Oh, man. Let's see. Wait, what? Oh, let's get close. Let's get close in on this. There it is right there. Little Oozle Vert says, it's just bad storytelling to change Luke so much and have one little flashback scene to explain why. I agree. Valid point. That is an excellent point. As I said, I'm not against it. It's interesting and a fresh take, which is what Star Wars needs, but execution-wise done poorly. So this to me is a guy who's saying, hey, I still like the movie, I still support what you tried to do, but it wasn't done well. So you know what? If it was me, I'd say, hey, I appreciate your opinion. We might have some disagreements over it, but overall, I appreciate you. But what Rian Johnson says, hot take. Hot take. Luke is, in fact, 100% consistent with his character. Not the way he's described in marketing blurbs, but his actual, based on his words and actions character from the original trilogy. I'll be at the bar if you need me. So a guy that's coming out, Lil Uzel, who's trying to say, hey, I agree with what you're trying to do. I think it's a good thing. I just think it was done wrong. Rian Johnson responds back saying, hot take, you're wrong. It's actually 100%, not even 99 or 98%. It's 100% consistent, really. Really. So you're saying that someone who was the New Hope, because again, keep in mind the new titles, Luke Skywalker was that New Hope, who essentially sacrificed himself for his father to try and save his father. Didn't kill his father. Like, we forget about this. Somehow along the way, because again, it's never really explained, somehow along the way, is tempted to kill a teenager, because that's what Kylo Ren is at the time, he's a teenager, is attempting to kill a child. Yes, but somehow that is consistent. Somehow that is consistent. Someone who is a Jedi, that is somehow consistent with his character. Are you kidding me? 100% consistent, Rian Johnson. 100% consistent. How can you be 100% on anything in today's world? 100%? 100%. Rian, buddy, friend. The only thing that I'm 100% sure of is that you have no idea what you're talking about. Guys, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. My brain is just fried. Share this if you liked it as well. It's election day! And Rian Johnson put a sticker on his head, looking up at it like, oh man, look, it's round. I wonder what else is round. And now it's coming out, hot take, 100% consistent. Oh my goodness, guys. Have a great day. And as always, God bless. God.